Serverless computing takes away the worries about maintaining a server from the developer. So now all you have to effectively do is run your code in the cloud, and now you don't have to worry about the server, the maintenance of that server, or anything related to servers. You just have to get your code in the best shape that you can, ready to go on the cloud. The benefits of serverless computing are that you automatically get the space provision for your application. The patching is managed by the backend. You don't have to do anything. It auto scales depending on the requirement of your application and has a very high availability in terms of the zones that can be provided to your application. So, with all this responsibility taken away from the developer, the only thing left to do is to write really good code to be deployed. AWS Lambda is a serverless, event driven compute service that lets you run code for virtually any type of application or backend service without provisioning or managing servers. You can trigger Lambda from over 200 AWS services and software as a service applications and pay for what you use.
Here's a Lambda function with our Python code, and it's going to be triggered by API Gateway every time someone visits the website, which is hosted in S3 bucket. Let's go on and implement this lab together. Now from here, I'm going to create a function. We're going to author our function from scratch, and the first thing we do is give our function a name. And when you run the function, it's basically going to return whatever you have written in this body section. So if you have the function is successful, it is going to issue the status score 200 and provide the text written in this body. Once you're done writing the code, just hit deploy, and then we're just going to scroll back up. And this is where you can add a trigger. If you remember, a trigger is what invokes a function. So click and add trigger. And there are lots of different triggers that can be used to invoke a Lambda function. And the most common trigger you're likely to use to see is API Gateway. So we select that. The API type is going to be HTTP, and the security you can set it up as open, just to keep things simple because it's just a public website. And then scroll down and hit add. So this is an API gateway calling our Lambda function, and the Lambda is running our Python code and returning this response. So if you click that and click on details and just click on this link, we just have invoked our Lambda function. Now at this point, we are ready to join everything up with S3. Here, click on create a bucket. Now we'll give it a unique name. So in the object ownership section, we are going to enable our ACL and scroll down. We're going to enable public access because it's going to be a website. Just acknowledge our settings and create a bucket. We leave the default settings as is and click on create bucket. Once that is created, select your bucket and head on to properties. Now scroll down at the bottom until you find static web hosting. Then edit and enable. Now we need to define our index document and error document. So that's just index.html and error.html. Now just hit save. Now our bucket is successfully created. So now we need to upload our website files, and we have got two files to upload. We need to upload index.html and error.html. But before we upload them, we have got to make one change in index.html. So we will need to insert an endpoint URL of our API gateway into the HTML code so that when a user visits the website, it will call the API gateway and invoke our Lambda function. So I'm going to come back to Lambda, and I just want to copy this API endpoint. And here is my index.html. I'm just going to come down to this section, it's line 11. I'm going to delete it and paste my API endpoint and save my file as well. So let's quickly go through what this code actually does. So first of all, we have got some JavaScript with a function called myFunction, and it's this function which is going to call API gateway. So it makes an HTTP request to the API gateway endpoint URL. And then moving down here, we have got some body section, we have got a heading, and then we have also got a button which says click me. And when you click on this button, it's going to call our JavaScript function to make an HTTP request to API gateway, which in return will trigger our Lambda function. So you'll want to head back to S3 console and go back to your bucket. Now select upload and now add files. We want to add our index.html and error.html, so we select both of these. Now we'll just scroll down. Here in the permission section, select grant public read access and check this box. Now click on upload. So now still within our S3 bucket, if we head to properties and go to static web hosting, this is where you will be able to find your static web hosting endpoint for your serverless website. So this is the website address provided by S3, and if we click on this endpoint, you will be able to see something like this. So it has taken us to our website, and if you click this button, you will be able to see the website update with our message from Lambda function. So there you go, this completes our lab. Thank you so much for watching.